happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. You guys can probably already tell that it is going down just by that title alone. You guys are definitely gonna want to check this one out. And this is one that I initially did not believe the headlines upon reading them, but it is true. We're seeing federal charges being slapped on yet another left-wing activist judge after she was just caught aiding a criminal migrant and evading ICE arrest, guys. And I'm excited to get this one, so we're not straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's get straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
Y'all are not going to believe this. Mind blown. Let me get this straight, y'all. There is a Boston judge who in 2018 allegedly helped a person who's in the country without permission sneak out of the courtroom while ICE was trying to detain him. Does that sound familiar? Do you know that there's a Wisconsin judge who's facing criminal charges right now for the pretty much the exact same reason? And there's a Boston judge who in 2018 caught this kind of case. So let me get this straight.
District Court Judge Shelley Joseph leaves a federal courtroom emotional. The victim, her lawyer says, of a politically motivated prosecution.
Shelley Joseph is absolutely innocent.
A federal prosecutor said the judge and her court officer, Wesley McGregor, helped an undocumented immigrant sneak out a back door at the Newton courthouse last year to avoid an immigration officer waiting in the lobby.
This case is not about immigration. It is about the rule of law.
The undocumented immigrant had been deported twice before and was in court on a drug charge and a fugitive from justice charge. Court documents show his attorney, the prosecutor, and the judge had concerns he had been misidentified by federal authorities.
There's really no way to explain the decision to bring this case except the politics of the Trump administration.
And this judge, this Boston judge, is finally about to face a public hearing for allegedly helping this undocumented migrant sneak out of her courtroom to dodge ICE back in 2018. Okay, so let's break this down. Her name is Judge Shelley Joseph. She's sitting on the Boston Municipal Court, and she's going to be headed to a public hearing on June 9th for what they're calling willful judicial misconduct. Now, what is she accused of having done? She's accused of having helped Jose Medina Perez, twice deported, y'all. This is a person who had been deported twice, suspected of, slanging packs, as some people might say. She's suspected of helping him slip out the back door in her courtroom to avoid ICE agents who were there with a detainer for him.
The ACLU calls the prosecution an assault on justice, but federal authorities say the judge broke rules by stopping a court recording and telling that immigration officer to leave the courtroom and wait in the lobby.
I've heard the occasional gasp of dismay or outrage at the notion of holding a judge accountable for violating federal law. But if the law is not applied equally, it cannot credibly be applied to anyone.
Now, the Massachusetts Attorney General has come out strongly against this prosecution. The judge has now been suspended as the case moves forward.
So I showed up and judge like, nah, you can't take this guy. It literally sounds almost exactly like what we're seeing here in Wisconsin.
Good evening. We start tonight at 6 o'clock with the Wisconsin Supreme Court suspending a judge accused of helping a man evade federal immigration agents. Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan was arrested last week, accused of ushering the man through a side door away from agents. He was later taken into custody. In the order today, the court says it's in the public interest to temporarily relieve the judge of her duties.
And similar to the current case, right? A Trump-appointed U.S. attorney hit Judge Shelley Joseph with federal charges. This was in 2019 for obstruction of justice. So this is nothing new, y'all. Okay, what we're seeing in Wisconsin is nothing new. Obstruction of justice and conspiracy, the whole nine. All right. But under the Biden administration, the charges were dropped in 2022. Now, did Biden have anything to do with it? Well, apparently they say, look, we'll just let the state deal with it. So now it's going to a state entity, the Massachusetts Commission on Judicial Conduct. So that's a body that is going to operate with a different level of energy, so to speak, than federal prosecutors. Now, I will remind you that Wisconsin Judge Hannah Dugan is currently suspended. She was suspended just yesterday by the Wisconsin Supreme Court. We did a story on that, of course. She was suspended by the Wisconsin Supreme Court, supposedly, I presume, while this entire criminal case of hers unfolds, and she hired a conservative attorney to help with her representation, an attorney who doesn't seem to be very friendly with Donald Trump, even though he is on the conservative side. This guy is deep with the Supreme Court, though, having argued 100 cases before this. Is that even possible? He's probably one of the most experienced people in the world right now. So what's going on with letting guys slip out of the back door, people? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, do we live in a simulation, people? Have any of y'all ever thought like we might actually live in a simulation? Like this might not all be real. Like there might be some entity out there controlling all this, or it's like a video game almost, you know? And like they run out of storylines, so they just repeat the same one. Like, hey, we need a judge to do something. Have somebody run out, have them help somebody run out the back door. Yeah, we already did that years ago. Do it again. Just do it again, you know? Anyway, y'all, I'm on a little bit of a rant, but I just kind of can't believe this. Of course, I'd like to know what my people think. So y'all, Trump is going after these judges for doing this sort of thing, and Biden in the meantime was saying, we'll let the states handle it. Should this be a federal issue? Should this be a federal crime? If it should, do you think that these judges should actually be prosecuted and face jail time?
Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness. You cannot make this stuff up. I told you, I almost didn't believe the headline when I first seen it. We have yet another judge being caught doing the same exact thing we seen that Wisconsin judge doing just the other day. They got her suspended, probably going to get her disbarred and charged, hit with federal charges. So if that's coming for her, I could only assume that the same thing will happen for this Boston judge. Joe Biden tries to let her off with get out of jail free pass, and hey, we'll let the states handle it, be a little bit more lenient on her. But nah, I don't think the Trump administration is going to go for that. Once they've got their eyes set on something, like a dog on a bone, they're not going to let it go. They're going to make sure they get to the bottom of it. Justice is served. And us, we the people, I feel like we deserve that true justice. Because if this was me, this was you in the situation or the shoes of these judges, guess what? We're getting federal charges. We're getting our robe taken off of us. You know, there is no way that these folks keep getting away with blatantly breaking the law. No one's above the law, in the words of that New York Attorney General Letitia James. We need to see some true accountability for all these figures involved. We can't keep allowing them to do this, or else they're just going to keep doing it. It truly blows my mind. These folks, they'll go great lengths to defend. I mean, these are twice deported. In both cases, these were twice deported criminal migrants, aggressive. They had assault crimes on their back, the rap sheet. It doesn't make sense why they're going so far to try to defend and help these folks escape justice. They're supposed to be, they swore an oath to office for the road. You know, the protect and serve, and you're seeing these folks, they don't care about justice. Further proving our point that these are not real judges, but liberal activists posing as judges in order to hand down favorable sentences when it benefits their causes. Guys, definitely hop in that comment section though. Comments are open. I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking on this one. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one week.